So one day after the Trump inauguration, and we're seeing the Euro USD start to bottom here on the daily time frame, bouncing from 1.035. But is this going to be the bottom or another failed breakout like we saw earlier this month? That's what we're talking about in today's video. I'll also have the latest on the DXY. So I'm not feeling too great, guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to get through this the best that I can. But we've talked about all of these levels here for the Euro USD for the last really couple months, including 1.046, 1.035, and 1.02. So this has been a range for this market here recently, with 1.035 really being kind of the mid-range there, and also a key pivot on the daily and weekly charts. So we did see Monday close above this level, and this right here, this move came on the Trump comments that he wouldn't be enforcing tariffs right away. And look, he's going to enforce tariffs. So, I mean, in my opinion, the US dollar is going to eventually rally when those tariffs take effect. But I'm not a fundamental trader. I stick to the charts. And right now, that's what we're seeing. But I did want to explain that that's why we saw the breakout here yesterday on Monday during the Trump inauguration. So looking at the Euro USD, we have support coming in down here at 1.035. No surprise that that is today's low. And we have resistance coming in at 1.046. So if you look at the weekly time frame, this is what we talked about back here when we got that first daily close above 1.035 back here. So on January 6th, we saw the euro close above this on the daily. However, what I said there was that you had to be careful and that this was not confirmation of a bottom, because if you'll notice, the weekly time frame had not closed above this level. So this right here was the week that we had the euro closing above 1.035 on the daily. And clearly, the week had closed below this, right? And so that following week, when we got the close above this, above 1.035, the weekly was holding below. And it's kind of a similar case right now. However, the one case I can make here for bulls is that last week's candle right here looks a lot more bullish than this one. So that is the one thing you have going for the Euro USD in terms of a bottom here. However, you still need that daily time frame, that second daily close, and really a weekly close above some of these key levels to confirm a bottom, because until that time, you're really just dealing with a range here, okay? So I want to stress that point that we don't have confirmation of a bottom. You really ideally have to get the Euro USD closing a week above this area to really confirm that we have a potential bottom in place. Now, one area on the Euro USD, if we do get bullish follow through, that I'm going to be watching very closely is this back here. So we talked about this trend line during the breakdown right back here. So back here in November, we were talking about this trend line here off of these lows. And this is what gave me the 1.035 end of year target in 2024. And the reason for this, I discussed it at the time, but this was a big pivot for the euro going back years. And so this area up here, what you'll notice is, and this is especially apparent if you go to the 2-week time frame, but what you'll notice here on the 2-week time frame is that you have this candle right here. Okay, so this is essentially 2 weeks, 2 sell-offs combined. And what you'll notice is that this was the breakdown candle, yet we have no retrace in this area. So if we do get follow through to the upside from the euro, this could be one area to watch right around 1.07 or so, all the way up to about 1.08. So this is going to be something to watch here over the coming weeks. If we do get, upside confirmation here from the euro closing above areas like 1.046. Okay, so these highs back here and potentially sweeping those and tagging levels like this back here. All right, so really interesting area here on the euro to keep an eye on if we do get bullish follow through. But like I said, you do have to get those higher time frame closes above 1.035 and also 1.046. So looking at the DXY, now this is the trading view calculated chart, the one that I typically use. However, if you'll notice here, for some reason, they're not including yesterday's candle. They're having a glitch here on this chart. However, this right here is the current price of the DXY, and you can see that clearly the market is trading below this trend line from September that we talked about. So over the weekend and the weekly forecast, this is the trend line that I said that if it broke down, then we could see a bearish dollar develop down here towards some of these levels, okay? Now, if you look here at another DXY chart, I'll show you this one just because even though I don't have my levels on this chart, you can see where this was Monday's close. And quite clearly, we are seeing the DXY break below this trend line, okay? So clearly we have a breakdown here from the DXY, but only in terms of this trend line. And the reason I say that is because like the Euro USD, you can see here that really this is just a range, okay? We've got the lows down here and the high up here. So you do have to be careful right now with the DXY coming into this area around 107.50 to 108, as this down here is likely to serve as support for the dollar. Now, if we get the Euro USD testing this area from back here that we just talked about, okay, on the 2-week time frame, if we get the Euro USD testing this area up here, then that could potentially equal the DXY testing levels like these all the way down here, like this quarterly FVG down around 106 and potentially 105. Now, there's no guarantee that we do get that, okay, but you can see that we do have this trend line here off of the October high. So from 2023, we've got this trend line back here, which was tested following the breakout. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did see the market come back here and test some of these lows, potentially this area around 106, and if we get that, even this trend line down here before we get a bounce from the DXY. However, as always, guys, this is going to be a level by level market. The same thing with the Euro USD, meaning that we need that daily close above 1.046, okay? We need the daily close above this area back here in order to confirm that next leg higher up here toward these highs around 1.0615. And then, like I said, potentially that sweep up here into this area, okay? But it does, at least at the moment, look, pretty good here for the Euro USD, at least for a local bottom. Now, the one thing I'm going to caution you guys with, and I'm sure that you all have seen this because unless you've been hiding under a rock for the last couple of days, every time that Trump talks about tariffs, we get the DXY bouncing erratically back and forth. If you look here at something like the hourly time frame, you can see that over here, this is when Trump came out and said that he would not be enforcing tariffs right away. And of course, we got the DXY breaking down. Now, at some point through here, and I forget exactly where, but you can see where Trump came out and said that he's entertaining tariffs, up to 25% for Canada and Mexico. And he also talked about tariffs for China as well. And you got the DXY bouncing, pretty erratically through here, including this wick on this candle. So the bottom line here, guys, you've got to be really careful because right now, every single time Trump makes comments on tariffs, we get the US dollar acting very erratically, okay? And that's why I'm taking everything I see right now with a grain of salt, because I know that the inauguration was just yesterday for Trump, and he is going to be very active in the media talking about tariffs. So you have to be really, really careful with these markets. Don't get caught thinking that the bottom is in and the euro is going hundreds of pips higher automatically. Okay, don't think that that's guaranteed because, again, all it's going to take is one comment from Trump about tariffs to see the DXY rally again and the Euro USD drop or vice versa, right? So be really careful with these markets. Personally, for me right now, I am going to stand aside on the Euro USD and the pound just because I want to see how the next few days play out here and let these markets settle following the Trump inauguration. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Don't forget to join us in VIP. Claim your 85% off lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on that join VIP link. I will see you on the inside. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.